class person makes $100,000, then he is heavily taxed and loses 30 to 40% of it. Kiyosaki explains that in the beginning, there were no taxes, and the government created taxes to punish the rich and give it to the poor. The government used the Robin Hood mentality, and people supported it. But the rich were smart, and they found legal ways not to pay taxes. One of the big differences is that the poor and middle class earn money, pay taxes on that money, and live with what is left. The rich, on the other hand, earn money, spend everything they can, and pay taxes on whatever is left. The fourth idea: the rich invent money. The author says that each person is born with talent, but that talent is suppressed because of self-doubt and fear. He remarks that it's not necessarily the educated, smart people who get ahead, but the bold and adventurous. People never get ahead financially, even if they have plenty of money, because they have opportunities that they fail to catch because of fear and doubt. Most of them just sit around waiting for an opportunity to happen. The author's idea is that people create luck. They should not wait around for it. He says it's the same with money. It must be created. The fifth idea: work to learn. Don't work for money. Kiyosaki says his poor dad was intelligent, well-educated, and worked for money because job security meant everything to him. Rich dad became a millionaire by working to learn. The author recommends young people to seek work where they will learn more than they will earn, especially in the areas of sales, communication, marketing, accounting, leading people, etc. During an interview with a journalist, Robert Kiyosaki learned that the journalist strived to become a best-selling author. He realized she was a great writer and that she should pursue that. She told him that she had tried, but no one was interested. He accidentally offended her when he told her to take a sales course so she could promote herself. She became defensive. She replied, "I have a master's degree in English literature. Why would I go to school to learn to be a salesperson? I am a professional. I went to school to be trained in a profession so that I would not have to be a salesperson. I hate salespeople. All they want is money." She packed her things. Robert Kiyosaki gently pointed out that he was the best-selling author, not the best writing author. This statement only infuriated her more, and the interview ended. The world has many successful and talented people, doctors, lawyers, dentists, and still they struggle financially. But as a wise business consultant once said, they are one skill away from great wealth. If you took your skill set and paired it with financial intelligence, accounting, investing, marketing, or law, you could achieve great wealth. If that journalist had instead picked up a job at an ad agency to learn how to sell, she could go on to create great wealth with her writing. Rich Dad says, you want to know a little about a lot. In school and at work, you're expected to specialize. Those who earn promotions tend to be specialists. However, Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad always recommended the opposite. That's why, throughout the years, Robert would work in different areas of his Rich Dad's company. He was expected to attend meetings with lawyers, bankers, accountants. It was essential to the Rich Dad for Robert to know every aspect of creating an empire. Idea number 6. People who avoid failure also avoid success. Most people never win because they're afraid of losing or failing. If you look at the way humans are designed to learn, we learn by making mistakes. We learn to walk by falling down. If we never fell down, we would never walk. The same is true for learning to ride a bike. The same is true for getting rich. Failure is part of the process of success. Kiyosaki says, I look at my money game much like my tennis game. I play hard, make mistakes, correct, make more mistakes, correct, and get better. If I lose the game, I reach across the net, shake my opponent's hand, smile, and say, see you next Saturday. I personally know many people who have tried to create their own business, but have failed and eventually gave up after 3 or 4 failures. It always amazes me how these people expected to be successful after a few trials. Giving up after 3 to 4 failures is like starting to go to the gym to get in shape, but after a few days quitting because you didn't see any results. If you want to get in shape, you need to be consistent. You need to change your exercise routine if it's not effective. You need to try a different diet. You need to try a different trainer until you find what works for you. Unfortunately, people do not apply the same mentality when it comes to getting financially fit. Idea number 7, don't focus on your income. Focus on your assets. The long-term rich build their asset column first, and only then the income generated from the asset column buys their luxuries. The poor and middle class buy luxuries with their own sweat and blood. In other words, if a rich person wants to buy a luxury car, he doesn't buy it right away. He first buys assets, such as businesses or real estate, and if the assets generate good income, he uses it to buy the car. They always focus on the asset first.